Hello friends, welcome to the lecture on the manufacturing process. We will start from the casting process. Even you can refer all the lecture about the manufacturing process on the Engineering College Banswara YouTube channel. So here we will start from the casting process. Casting process is one of the earliest metal shaping technique known to the human being. Basically, it was the very old process which was invented by the human for the making of the component. It means pouring of the molten matter into a refractory mold cavity and allow it to solidify. It's a very simple process. Anyone can do this or process at your home without any many instrument. You can mold any metal. Okay. Then we are pouring that molten matter to the mold cavity and allowing some time to solidify. So you will get the final cast product. The solidified object is taken out from the mold either by the breaking or taking the mold apart. Okay. So it's a depend. Suppose you are preparing one or two component, okay, for the experiment. So you can break the mold and you can take out the product out of that mold. And second option is that you can also take the product without damaging your mold. The solidified object is called casting, and the technique followed in the method is known as the casting process. So you can see it's a very simple process. Even you can watch a number of videos available on the YouTube freely. So you will get the some idea about the basic steps or basic of the casting process. So here I will explain the 6 basic steps in this process. First, we need to place a pattern in the sand to create a mold. So first step is to create the pattern, and you have to place the pattern into the sand, or you can create the mold. Incorporate the pattern and sand in the gating system. So second step is that you have to incorporate the pattern as well as the sand in the gating system. Remove the pattern. After first step is that you have to remove the pattern, so you will get the exact shape of the pattern in the sand. Fill the mold cavity with the molten metal. Now you have removed the pattern from the sand, so you have a cavity in the sand. So now that cavity should be filled with the molten metal. Allow the metal to cool. Now we are allowing the metal to solidify. Break away the sand mold and remove the casting. So here we are after solidification, what we are doing, we are breaking the sand and removing the casting from the mold. So these are the very simple steps that you have to follow in the casting process. Here you can see the two diagram to figure shown in this slide. Here is the bottom board. You can see simple object that is prepared from the casting process. So here we have two different upper one and lower part. Here we have a riser on the right side top, and from the left hand side we are pouring the molten metal that is known as the runner, and in between parting line there is a gate system. So actually the mold is created from the sand, okay, and in between we have placed the core. So at that point core you will get the hole, because the material is not rich, or we can say material will not get entered in the core. It's a solid core actually. So you will get the hole inside the component. So this is very simple process, and you have to remember the riser, runner, gate, core and sand. On the right hand side figure you can see it's a cop and drag. Okay, upper part is known as the cop, second is the drag. Here we have a core, okay, then you can say open riser, vent will allow to remove the air, pouring basin, okay, flask, sand parting, here sand, the parting line, even sand, gate, shock, runner, blend riser, mold cavity. So he can say here we have mold cavity, but some accessory, or we can say it's a necessary component which has to be attached or which has to be created along with the mold. Like you can see a vent, open riser, pouring basin. Basically in pouring basin we are supplying or pouring the molten metal, so it will enter from this spur and it will actually some round is provided at the bottom, that is known as shock, so it will move smoothly, otherwise it will damage to the bottom part, because we are pouring from the top, and due to the gravity it will move fast, and it may be the chance of the sand which may be included into the metal if you not provide the some smoothness at the bottom. So here it is runner that will carry the molten metal to the actual mold cavity, and vent is provided to remove the gases and trapped air inside the mold cavity, so it will actually reduce the, we can say, defect in the mold cavity. So it's a very simple diagram, you can understand easily. Now here it is shown in the 3D, so you can imagine, like here we have a ladle, in that we have molten metal on the right hand side, parting line, casting product. Here you can see cork, bottom part, that is drag, spur, pouring cap, riser, cavity, chaplet also provided to support the core, okay, gate, core prim, drag. So this is a very common. Here you can see two screw type part is provided on the upper side and lower side, that is known as the chaplet, to support the core. So here, after removing all the things from the mold, you will get this it's a orange color. This is your final product, and again this is also molten metal which is solid metal which is attached with the your final component. So you can break from here and you will get the final shape or final component as per your design. So this is again simple diagram, you can easily understand. First one is actually is a open mold, and it is filled with the drag pattern actually. So first one is a drag. Right hand side you can see we have provided the sand which is rammed with the some hammer, okay. So again you can see we are assembling both the cop and drag, and also providing all the necessary component, or we can say necessary part, like pouring basin, riser, parting line, chaplet, okay. And then again fill the molten metal and you will get the final casting. So casting terminology, that pattern an appropriate duplicate or true replica of the required product of casting. Even you can learn in detail in my different lecture. Flash box, the rigid metal or a wooden frame that hold the molding material. Top half of the molding box. Drag, that is the bottom half of the molding box. Core as and shape, that is inserted in the mold to produce an internal feature of the casting, such as hole, as we have discussed, okay. And riser, a vertical opening in the mold, act as a vent for gases, okay. So excess gases, or due to the reaction in the molten metal, some gases may be produced and it will be released with the help of the riser. Have to confirm that mold is completely filled. So even though you can check from the riser that mold is completely filled with the molten metal. Again, some molten metal will be solidified with the time, and it required some more material to compensate that uh, contradiction, shrinkage. So it will also take the material from the molten metal from the geyser, act as a reservoir of the molten metal to feed and compensate for the shrinkage during the solidification of the casting, as we have discussed. Gating system, channels used to deliver the molten metal to the mold cavity, spur the vertical passage in the gating system, runner the horizontal channel for the gating system, and gate, there is channel which connect run and the mold. Now come to the advantage. These up to this you can understand easily. There is a different part which are very necessary for the casting process. Advantage, product can be cast as one piece, very heavy and bulky part can also be manufactured with the help of the casting. Metals difficult to shape by the other manufacturing process may be cast. Waste for the mass production, complex shape can be manufactured with the help of the casting process. Disadvantage is casting process is laborious, extensive process, not possible for the high melting point metal. Okay. Dimensional accuracy, surface finish, and the amount of the defect depend on the casting process. So it may be vary with respect to the worker skill and also uh, environmental condition. Allowance is required. So for each and every pattern, you need to give some allowances, and that allowance should be taken care after the post processing also. So it may add some extra cost to your final component. Application, transportation vehicle, machine tool structure, turbine vans, mill housing, valves, sanitary fittings, agriculture part, construction and automatic energy applications. So you can see each and every industry or different types of the industry that they are using a casting process for the manufacturing of that component. So it's a very common and very old process. So this is a real interesting topic about the casting process. Thank you. Some component which was made from the casting, like engine block, these are the very heavy, which was made by the casting. Again, crankshaft, it was made from the casting process. Again, engine block. So these are the very heavy engine part which was made from the casting process. Here you can see this brake disc and other component which was also made by the casting. These are the some different application. So you will find a number of application that was actually made from the casting. Once again, thank you very much for listening this lecture.